Welcome back to Stardew Valley. I'm your host, longtime listener. Drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment below. As in this episode, we start off with a day where the spirits are very displeased. And that's not good because we really need to do another day of mining. And I promise y'all this will be the last day of mining for at least one day. Next, like tomorrow, there will be no mining. But I want to get a little bit more copper slash coal slash gold if we can. So in any case, I really wish today would have been a good luck day because that's what I have on the agenda. Other things on the agenda since it's Friday are, well, first of all, you saw I only got one quality corn out of that harvest. So we are slowly but surely chipping into the 5 that we need, but we're not having very good luck with our crop qualities this season. We needed 5 melon and only got 4, and then didn't have enough time to where we could just plant again and get more. And I thought that we planted 23, and I thought that that would be enough to get us 5 gold quality. I was wrong. But anyway, so on the agenda today, it's Friday, so we will go down to the traveling cart. And then other things going on today, it's Demetrius's birthday. So I believe I grabbed me a piece of fruit to take up to him, and we'll give it to him for his gift. And let's see, is there anything good here? Large goat's milk I could buy and just to donate, but we'll come by that, in time, so it's not a big deal. And then there's another rare seed to add to our collection. While we're down here, we'll swing on over to the old hidden forest and do some wood gathering, or hardwood to be more specific. And now, like I said in the last episode, even though it's Friday and Robin's carpenter shop is usually closed on Fridays, it is open today since she was at the doctor yesterday and closed on a day where she would normally be open. So the game at least has the courtesy to make it up to you. So anyway, we will swing up there to see Demetrius, and when I was actually playing, that is the moment where I realized, Robin is open. So I actually played this day twice. Full disclosure. Because I was up there to give him his fruit, but I didn't have the wood or stone that I needed in order to build the coop, because I wasn't planning on being able to do it. And then I was like, if that's a possibility, let's just start the day over, because I really hadn't done all that much of, real noteworthy content. So I figured, let's just make this day more productive, and we'll get the coop started. So, is there anything else on the agenda today? I know I talked about mining, the traveling cart's already done, Demetrius' birthday, and we're buying a coop. So that's what we've got on the to-do list, y'all. And let me just remind everyone how much more awesome it is getting around town on the horse than it is before you have the horse. It is awesome. Even though, I can still take advantage of the mine carts from time to time. Like, this is a perfect example. All I need to do in town is crack open 1 geode. So I don't want to spend an hour, running to Clint's and then back to wherever I was going next. That's silly. I can do it in 20 minutes this way instead of like an hour and 20 minutes. So that is the beauty of the mine carts. And then when you combine it with the horse, you can get around pretty quickly to just about anywhere you need to go. So we'll swing by Pierre's here, see what's on the help wanted list. Willie wants 4 sunfish. Now, there is almost no chance of us catching 4 sunfish for Willie. But we will accept that quest anyway. Actually, now that I think about it, tomorrow is probably a good day for us to try and catch the Dorado. And if we're going to do that, there's a chance we might catch some sunfish in the process. Now, I don't know that it'll be 4, but I'm going to fish until either 7 p.m. or I catch the Dorado, whichever comes first. And if I catch the Dorado the first time I cast, that's the only time I will cast. Now, what I'm trying to do here is figure out where I want this coop. And basically, after the crops, there will be a space, then a fence, then another space, then a fish pond, and then a space, and then another fish pond. Actually, probably 2 spaces between the fish ponds, now that I think of it. Anyway, what I'm trying to do in my head here is map out exactly where I want to plop down the coop. And it's going to be over here in the neighborhood of in front of the greenhouse, or what's left of it. And unfortunately, there's a rock right there. So what I end up having to do is just move down and put it down. Now, in reality, I could have put it down, I could have put the coop almost anywhere I wanted, because after I actually get in there and clean some of that stuff out and get the fences in and start building fish ponds or whatever, that's when I'll know exactly where I need to have my coop. And I probably won't build my fences all the way until I have the coop and a fish pond or 2 down, and possibly even a barn, so that I know exactly what spaces I want to enclose. Because it is difficult to map all that out like in advance. It can be done, and there are actually tools on the interwebs where you can actually, like, it's, you know, a Stardew Valley map planner tool where you can plot out exactly where you're going to put all your stuff so that you can have it as symmetrical or not as you like. I have not used those. I just kind of tend to wing it, which usually works out okay. You know, it's fairly common, though, that you'll have to pull up a section of fence and move it a little bit because you put your coop one spot too far down or too far to the left or whatever. But it's not a big deal. These are all, we're talking aesthetics, y'all, and aesthetics don't really impact, you know, the results on a day-to-day basis. They just impact aesthetics. So we're going to the bottom of the mines, and the intention here is just to continue trying to get farther down in the mines. If we can get to level 100, that is, you know, every level that ends in 0, there is some sort of, there's a treasure chest there, so you get a little prize or whatever. And we're coming up on that, and I think it's gonna be a good one, but you will have to wait and find out. I know what it is, and I say it's a good one, but you're gonna have to wait and just be the judge of that. So, given that we are going to the mines today, and we've been doing a lot of mining lately, like I said earlier, I promised you tomorrow we will not do any mining. We won't even go close to the mines. We're going to basically get up, we're going to water the crops, we're going to go fishing and catch the Dorado, and then the rest of the day is going to be a cleanup day, where we're going to be chopping wood and getting rid of weeds and, you know, the occasional stones that are laying around. We might not even do it at the farm. We might do it like down in the forest area, because it's a mess down there. And anyway, it's going to be a day where we're working on aesthetics around the map. So, And there, I was actually trying to pick up that mushroom, but the ladder popped up and he went down the ladder. So that kind of stinks that I left the mushroom just laying there. But not a big deal. We're now on level 98, and you know, we've barely collected any gold. And again, you got to really pay attention to the news if you're really going to try and be like super efficient. It can really benefit you to pay attention to the news, because you get that, you know, horoscope, we'll call it, where they tell you whether you're going to have good luck or bad luck or whatever. And if it's a good luck day, those are the good days to go mining, because you'll be more likely to find more ore and things like fire quartz and other minerals and whatnot. Whereas on bad luck days, it can be really sparse down here in terms of finding good resources. Now, I do like this level in the fact that, A, we got some more gold, but also there's a little mine cart at the end there full of coal. So the first time you're going down through the mines, there are several levels like this where there's the little train tracks and the mine cart at the end that you hit it and it drops a bunch of coal. Every other time you come to that floor after the first time, though, or after the first time you empty the cart it doesn't repopulate. You know, the cart's still there, but there won't be coal in it the next time I come to this level, or any other time I come to this level. So, that's that. Now we're still on level 98, just looking for the ladder, trying to get deeper into the mines. I think our objective for the day is just going to be level 100, honestly, because it's pushing 5 o'clock, and I'm about out of energy anyway, and I'm tired of mining. So, all right, there's the ladder, and now we get to this level, and it's this spiral one, and these are horrible. Now, I did get lucky because you can see there on the bottom, on the next spiral in, there is a ladder already exposed. However, in the middle of the spiral, there's always a bunch of chests and like old barrels and whatnot that are full of goodies. So it's nice to get to the center if you can to just collect all of that stuff, because it's, you know, it's pretty much unprotected. These little, I don't even know what you call those things, that they look like a little sun kind of, and they spit fire. They are easy to kill because they just take one hit. Now they spit fire at you, which can do damage from a distance, but it's usually not that hard to avoid. They are, I would say, one of my favorite monsters in the game, because even if they do hit you, it doesn't do a ton of damage. So as long as you're okay with that, you just run up to them and kill them instantly. So we got a couple of rubies there, so that was worth going past the ladder and going to get that stuff. And now we are about to advance to level 100 in the mines. And here's the chest. You ready for it? Whoa. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what is called a star drop, or star drop fruit. You found a star drop. Your mind is filled with thoughts of baseball. Your maximum energy level has increased. So, our energy bar is not only taller. So now our max energy for the day went from 270 to 307, I believe it was, on there. And then also, even though we had no energy, it fills it back up. So that is huge. If it were a day where we planned on spending a ton of more time down here, I really didn't want to, but when your energy fills up, it's like, oh, you gotta kind of do something with the energy, right? But anyway, I decided to just take a quick look for some gold, and then we're getting out of here. Oh, also in those chests that were in the middle of that spiral level, got a mega bomb and a regular bomb, so that's cool. And we'll take those back to the homestead and put them in our mining chest back there. We got a fair amount of gold, so we'll bring back 20 gold to smelt more gold ore. Actually, I think I have one gold ore at the... How many do I have? I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. So just ignore anything that I'm saying right now. We're going to bring some stuff back to the farm, and we're going to leave some stuff here. But for the most part, we're bringing stuff back with us. Now, there's 58 iron ore there, and I really wish I would have brought that back with me, because we don't have hardly any iron ore back at the farm, and I think we're also about out of iron bars. So that is no bueno. But anyway, we're going to go over here. We got a couple of those lead rods, so we'll sell them, and now that pretty much does it. Now we still have full energy though, so I believe what I'm going to do, if I remember correctly, is just go back and chop some trees. I'm honestly, I will say this as well, I'm kind of getting tired of dealing with the crab pots. They're just not, they're not real lucrative, and I just don't like dealing with them. So, whatever. Alright, so today's Friday. Now, tomorrow is a Saturday. There is literally nothing going on. We're not going mining. So, like I said, we'll get up, we'll go fishing, we'll catch a Dorado, hopefully, and then we're going to do a bunch of cleanup. So, it's not going to be a super exciting day, although it will turn out to be fairly productive in that we will end up with a bunch of wood, and that is going to help us with our upcoming upgrades to the farm, because we still need to buy a shed and a barn, and those take wood. We still have to build a bunch of tappers, and those take wood. We'll need wood for kegs shortly, so it'll be nice to stock up on that a little bit as we kind of get deeper into the summer. But other than that, not a whole lot else to say about this day or tomorrow. But let's get organized here, get some stuff put away. Get out of the way, Seabiscuit. And then we'll go chop some trees, I guess, before we go to bed. So we might actually end up being up a little bit late, because it's 9 o'clock already and we still have full energy, and I don't like going to bed with full energy. It's okay to have a little bit, but I feel like I've wasted a valuable resource if you go to bed and still have a full energy bar. Because like ultimately in this game, your two most valuable resources are time and energy. So to not use one of those two is kind of frustrating. I went back to get Seabiscuit, and then the copper bars were done, so we'll smelt some more stuff there, and now we'll ride Seabiscuit over here. And, you know, I was saying, like, this part of my farm is a mess, but it's not that much. You know, even though there's a bunch of trees and rocks or whatever, it's pretty much just this northwest corner, so it shouldn't take us, you know, too much time to clear this out. If we knock out some of it today, we're probably one good solid cleanup day away from having a completely clean farm, with the exception of all the grass that I have around, which honestly is something that I will leave until I get more silos. I want to leave it alone as much as I can. I'll keep it away from my crops or whatever, but I want to let it continue to thrive so that when I get another silo, I can go harvest a bunch, and then I get another silo and I harvest a bunch more. I probably have close to enough with 240 in a single silo for the number of animals that I'll have by the time the winter rolls around. That is nowhere near enough, because once I get the coop built, I'll probably go ahead and buy 4 chickens. And then I will already be working on a barn. And as soon as I get the barn, I'll probably buy 4 cows. Because we're going to have the money, y'all. We've got more blueberries coming in. It is not going to be an issue to spend money on livestock. So that's the nice thing. Once you get about halfway into summer, if you do things right and have a whole bunch of blueberries, or if you do things the way I've done it, I'm not saying that's the right way, but if you do things to where you get a bunch of money at this point, like, it's not something that I tend to think about that much in terms of like, oh crap, how much money do I have? Do I have enough to do this next upgrade or buy whatever? Usually you pretty much just have enough for whatever you want to do, as long as you're keeping it reasonable. You can't go and try and buy every single house upgrade back to back to back this early in the game. So, anywho, have we done the fun fact of the day? I don't think we have, but now I'm almost out of energy and it's getting late, so we'll save it for tomorrow whenever we're doing our cleanup. So, sorry for the teaser there. I mentioned it and then didn't do it, and I know how excited y'all get when I start talking about the fun fact of the day. It is after 1, and I don't know the last time we were up this late. That is, it's been a while, I'm sure. Alright. What am I doing? Oh, I got a whole bunch of those mixed seeds, and at some point I should just plant a gazillion of them. I might do that like to start off next spring. Instead of going and buying crops from Pierre's, I might just put all of those down, and then once the egg festival rolls around, I'll buy a whole bunch of strawberries. You know, I might buy like a couple of each crop from Pierre's at the beginning. Oh, I forgot to mention, so here you have the choice of fighter or scout, and you can see what the perks are there. I don't show you which one I choose because I looked it up, and when I did, it exited my video feed by mistake. But anyway, I chose fighter. And fighter gives you, I gotta look it up again. It gives you 10% more per attack, right? Or per damage each time you hit a monster. So, fighter or scout, starting. And then, once you choose the fighter path, the option that you get later down the road, you see there, sorry, got distracted. Demetrius wants a melon. And naturally, I saved that one melon that I was going to use for the fall festival. There's a Grange display that you have to put together, and a gold melon would be a pretty good value item. But I got to sell it, which is not the end of the world. But it's like, dang it, I only saved one, and now I got to get rid of it. So, what were we talking about? Oh, the fighter or scout perk. So, where is it, y'all? Okay, profession in the mining. Okay. Was it mine? No, it was combat. Combat. Where are you? Holy crap, where is it? It's gonna be the last one. Okay, so either you pick fighter, and it's all attacks deal 10% more damage, and you get 15 more health points, or scout, which is a critical strike chance increased by 50%. And I'm not going to explain what those are. You can look them up if you care enough. And then once you choose that path, your next option when you get to level 10 is either Brute, which is damage is increased by 15%, or Defender, which gives you a 25 point increase in your health points. And I like that option because that basically just prevents me from dying. I'm not as worried about killing monsters as I am about them killing me. Now, some people like to go the route of the scout, because then when you combine the first perk when you choose scout, which is critical strike chance increased by 50%, along with the second option in that progression, which is desperado, and that means critical hits are deadly, then a lot of times, well, more frequently, you'll hit a monster that typically you wouldn't think would be like killed with one swing, and it'll kill them. But the reason I don't choose that is because you might get that critical hit when when the monster was gonna die anyway, or close to it. So to me, I don't know. You'd have to like really break down the math to see which one is more valuable, honestly. But I like going the route of fighter and defender. So anyway, um, we are done on the farm for the time being. We're coming down here, and we're just going to try and get fishing here. We are looking for a Dorado, and as soon as we catch it, we will be done fishing. And then we will do some cleanup, and at some point also try to find Demetrius and give him that melon today, depending on what time it is. So this ought to be... There's a sunfish. Now remember, we had that quest where Willie wanted 4 sunfish, and he's standing right next to me. Okay, I totally forgot about that quest, I'm not gonna lie. And then here I catch another sunfish. So there's 2, and you can kind of see where this is going. So anyway, just keep that in mind as we kind of see what unfolds here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is actually not a sunfish, as you can tell, and I believe it's the sunfish, or the Dorado. And so we're going to catch this bugger if he ever stays still. We only caught 2 sunfish, but we're sitting here at 9:30. Willie is right next to me. I could have probably caught 2 more and completed that task, or that help wanted quest, but I didn't. I got the Dorado, that's what I came for, and I was just like, alright, deuces, we'll say hello to Willie, and then we're going to go cut some trees and such. And I decided to do my cleanup down here, because my farm isn't really in that bad a shape, and if I clear this stuff out, it will actually increase the odds of getting forageable items down here. Because anywhere that there's a stone or a weed or a branch, no forageable items can spawn there because there's already something there. Now the trees will respawn in the spots where I'm cutting them down, so that, you know, the good thing about that is if I cut them down, they will grow back, and then I can cut them down again, and, you know, just keep repeating that cycle. So that's why, like, wood is a resource in this game that's really not that hard to come by, because all the trees around town that you can cut down will respawn so that you have an endless supply. Whereas on your farm, if you cut down a tree, you have to replant another tree to get that process going again. So, and I also feel like, and this might not be the case, I feel like the trees outside of your farm grow faster. That might not be true, but there's a random element to how pines and oaks and maples grow. I don't know if the statistics off the farm are any different than they are on the farm, but in my head it seems like that. And maybe it's just because on my farm I'm like, good God, what is taking this tree so long to grow? Because I want to get a tapper in it so that I can get some resources out of it. But anyway, if anybody knows the answer to that, you're welcome to post it in the comments. Alright, now I think we're at the point in the day where we can jump into the fun fact of the day. And today's fun fact is that several 170-year-old bottles of champagne were found at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. And the neat part about champagne, if it is packaged right, which it usually is that the bottle... Sorry, dogs are barking. The temperatures and the fact that it's dark at the bottom of the ocean were able to keep the... it's a very good environment for wine wine to age. And technically champagne is just sparkling wine, for those of you who don't know. It is a wine, it's just sparkling, carbonated, if you want to call it that. But anyway, it's not necessarily carbonated. I don't think it's technically carbonated. I am going so far off path here. Let me get focused again. So anyway, the bottom of the ocean is actually a good place to store wine or champagne because of the cold temperature. It's like between 2 to 4 degrees Celsius, which is a really good range to store fine wines. And so they found these bottles at the bottom of the ocean, or at the bottom of the Baltic Sea, and it's thought that they were probably traveling from Germany to Russia in the 1800s when they sank to the bottom of the ocean. And I don't know if the boat sank or if just the bottles, for whatever reason, went overboard. But anyway, they found them. And so these people called oenologists, or oenologists, who apparently study wine and wine making, tasted the champagne. And you know how, if anybody is like a wine connoisseur, like, I like wine, but when I taste wine, I'm like, oh, it tastes, I like it. I mean, I can tell that there's a difference between different kinds of wine, but I'm not going to be like, oh, it's got notes of coconut and pepper and raspberry. Like, I can't do that. But some people can. They have a refined palate, and God bless them, I just don't. Okay, but anyway, the guys that sampled this wine, listen to this description. They described it as sometimes cheesy, with air quotes I'm making here, animal notes, and that it had elements of wet hair. So I've never had champagne that tasted anything remotely close to any of those descriptions. But I can't imagine tasting something and thinking, notes of animal, or, it kind of tastes like wet hair. Like, if I tasted anything and it tasted like wet hair, like, I would probably vomit. But anyway, that is your fun fact of the day. And we got a bunch of wood, y'all. I think we were sitting there over 800. That's pretty good. That's enough to get us, the barn, and I think the shed. And then we're getting to the point where we might need to start collecting a little bit more for the house and some tappers. But that was a pretty good, productive day, I must say. And we still have time to go ahead and find Demetrius and give him his melon. So there you have it. I missed us going over the $100,000 mark in career earnings. It was probably the last time we harvested blueberries, or somewhere in that neighborhood. But that's a nice little landmark to cross over. So anyway, now we're going to try and find Demetrius. And honestly, this could be an early day, because even though we were up till almost 2 yesterday, it's only like 5 o'clock, and I'm out of energy. I'm not going to the mines. I'm not doing any more fishing. I could try and find some more weeds to slice with my scythe, but I don't know how many are even left. Oh, there, Vincent said, Dad's coming home soon. So Vincent's dad is a guy named Kent, and here's Demetrius, so that's cool. We didn't have to go very far to find him. And he's talking all science-y to me. But give him his melon. Like, I don't even know. So he gives us, I believe, 600 or 550 gold for that melon. Now let me look up the value of a gold melon out of curiosity, because it might have been worth more for me to just sell it. What was I talking about, though? Oh, Vincent's dad is Kent. Okay, so the sell price is $375, so we still did better. But Kent is off at the war, and this is another element of this game where Eric, who did the development, is super creative and thoughtful. Like this, I would love to meet Eric because he seems like a just fantastic human being in general. I mean, you think about the kind of characters that are in this game. He's got Linus, who is, let's tell it like it is. He's homeless. I mean, he lives in a tent in the woods, but I don't know how much of that is by choice versus just maybe some, questionable life decisions. And that's a real part of the real world. And Eric builds it in here. And then you've got Maru, who is mixed race. You can marry the person of the same sex in this game, so it's inclusive in that regard. So you've got people of different colors, different like life backgrounds and such. And then I was getting back to Kent. Kent's off at the war, and at some point I think he comes back after the first year, but he is like, he's got, some serious issues kind of putting the past behind, like burying the the hard truth of what war will do to a person. And so he kind of has those demons that he struggles with, and it's baked into the storyline of the game. And I think that is like super impressive to include things like that for the content in the game. So anyway, um, again, kudos to Eric. This is a guy that he developed this game by himself from scratch, um, as sort of just a labor of love. And here it is. He's sold like millions of copies, as far as I know. So the dude is doing well for a first-time developer. But y'all, that is going to do it for this episode. We're going to bed early tonight, and so we gave 2 hits to the drum beat, 2 bells, and now we're hitting the sack. But again, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment below, and we will see you all next time.